Does it change a lot with DJ Lagway in there as opposed to Mertz? How do you guys approach that?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously both quarterbacks have played. First off, feel terrible for Mertz, and he's played so well for them over the last 2 years, and wish him a speedy recovery. And but there's been enough split snaps that you can see DJ's played and is very comfortable playing in big environments. So this system is very much similar. Didn't matter who the quarterback was in the game. So you sort of prepare for that. Obviously, you understand the skill set he brings. Really elite level arm talent. Mobile. So he looks comfortable and efficient in the system, and where to go with the ball, what to do with it. So it'll be a big challenge for us.
You mentioned that the system's the same, but does it make it a little bit easier knowing that you're just going against one guy instead of two?
Nope. No, nothing about Florida's system is easy, and so again, each quarterback had brought their unique skill set, but both understand how to operate within that system, and that's the important piece. It wasn't a system that deviated much, depending on the quarterback.
How do you see the players respond this week in terms of holding each other accountable versus just the coaches doing that?
Yeah, I think there's been a good response, but we need to continue that response. And obviously going into a hostile environment on the road, need to really lock arms, and play well. It's going to be a battle down there. The crowd's always, into it, and sometimes it's hard to tell during the week. Like you like the way practice looks and it's going, but until you get in the environment, are they locked in? And so it's been good thus far, but we need to carry it over, and then it needs to carry into Saturday.
Brad, what have you seen from JJ on the leadership front lately?
Yeah, you know what? I've been really, and I've told JJ this, and so I don't think he'll mind. In terms of me sharing this, when I have to correct him for a mistake in game, he in the past at times, it would affect him throughout the rest of the game. He's done a great job this year of taking that correction, sort of applying it and playing great, throughout the rest of the game. And so I've been really proud of him. That shows maturity, that shows leadership in that regard, especially maybe not from a verbal standpoint as much as it is, if you're a young guy and you look and you see, hey, listen, here's coach correcting a 6-year senior, instead of getting upset or pouty or turn away or do any of that, here he is, he's accepting it like a grown man, understands, makes the correction, then goes back out and executes at a high level. That's what mature players do. And when young players watch old vets do that, that's the model you're looking for. If you get an old player that you try to correct and it's or I'm gonna go do my own thing, or I'm gonna go into a shell, or I'm gonna pout, well, guess what? Young players see that as well. And so that I've been really proud of him this year, and that shows a huge step, in terms of maturity and growth. And I think that's why he's playing so well.
Pretty decent result as far as the points and the yardage and everything last week, but Mark said there were situations on 4 of those scoring drives where you could have got off the field. What did the film show in those situations?
Yeah, it showed exactly that. It's we as a defense probably felt that was probably our worst performance of the year. And there were situations that we should have definitely handled better. From coaches, players, the whole nine. Execution in critical moments needs to happen, and we have an opportunity on the very first drive when we get them backed up and pinned to get off the field multiple times. And then we get them down in the red zone. We have an opportunity to force a big sack, and then a 3rd and long, force a field goal. Who knows what's going to happen? There were so many plays on that first drive, and then we sort of settle in. So now you're thinking, okay, this is just like Ole Miss. First drive, got to settle in, kind of handle it the rest of the half, and then you get to the 2-minute drive. Well, then all of a sudden in Ole Miss, we get out of the 2-minute drive in 2 plays. We force an incomplete, we force a sack, and we're going in the locker room. Well, we start the 2-minute drive with a mental error that should have resulted into 0 yards or potentially negative. If we execute, we don't. They get the drive started. Then we have an offsides penalty that gives them a free first down, and then they get going. We get them to 3rd down. If we stop them on a 3rd down, and execute, things that we had worked all week, we force a field goal there, and it's a whole different ballgame because now, hey, it's 10-7 at half. Even if you allow that field goal at the end of the first half or first drive of the second half, it's 13-7, and you say it's still a 1-score game. But instead, it's 17-7, and that's got a whole different feel and a whole different stress level, on the sideline. And so those are situations we have to do better at, and we didn't play our best game in terms of every play. It seemed like somebody was raising their hand and it was, hey, my bad or my mistake. Well, you do that and you only get 55 plays and you got 20 guys do that. That's 50% of your snaps. You've got, an error there. So we've got to get that tightened up.
You were especially short at corner last week. Just how do you feel like those guys are playing that are being kind of pushed into a bigger role right now?
Yeah, I think we got to. Last week, was not our best. We got to play better, and I believe in their response.
With Wilson back, they have 3 pretty productive wide receivers. Just what have you seen from those 3 guys?
Yeah, could be as talented, if not the most sort of complete wide receiver group we've seen in several years at Florida. And obviously Wilson's a dynamic playmaker. For them to get him back is a huge deal. I think 17 and 6 have been playing really, really good football. I think 17, I don't know if he gets enough credit for how well he's playing and operating in so many different positions. And so, yeah, that receiver group is really sort of elevating that offense. They'll provide a sort of a comfort blanket, for Lagway. He knows he's got guys he can trust. They're going to run good routes, be confident on the ball, make good, strong catches, and then obviously the playmaking ability, especially of Wilson. At any moment he could create an explosive. So we've got to do a good job out there.
Everybody good?